Hey, it's Coach Nick with Finest Athletics. I just wanted to bring you a few drop back tips to practice on your own to make sure that you are being efficient in your drop back. Starting with the first tip that I see very often is quarterbacks not being able to throw without taking a hitch. The one thing I see that causes hitch all the time is where you place that last leg in your drop back. Set, go. One, gaining ground. This is for a 3-step, this is my only step that I'm gaining ground. And my 2 and 3, since those are my last 2 steps of my drop back, they're going to be short, in rhythm, and underneath my body. Again, 2, never am I trying to gain ground with my cross step. And then with my third one being my last step, I also want to keep that one tight right under my hip. Where I see people go wrong is after their second step, this third step is far outside of their frame. From here, they have to hitch up to get this back leg underneath their hip. So really big on where you put that last step. 1 to gain ground, 2 to cross over, 3 to stop momentum from going backwards, getting my hip underneath my body where it's loaded up. Now I can break my hands, step, rotate, and throw without having to take a hitch. So tip number 1 is where you put your back leg when it's time to drop. Another drop back tip is being able to throw to your right and to your left without a hitch and making sure your feet are in a very good spot. Science way to say it is just internally and externally turning your foot to make sure that you're in a good spot to throw to your target. Throwing to my right, but from a side view here, 3-step. First step, neutral, I should stay here, everything is square. 2, I can still be here, or I can start to turn my feet back there. The next one, I am fully externally rotating to where the inside of my foot is now facing to my target. I lift, hips, shoulders, everything start to push in this direction. Instead of putting this foot down, I would instantly go into a throw. So walking through at a little bit faster of a pace, set, go. 1, 2, externally rotate, 3, step, throw. And again, landing in this position where the inside of my foot is facing my target. My step is clearing the midline just left of that target. If I know I'm throwing an out route in that direction, when I land that back foot, I want it to be turned, externally rotated in that direction. I'm throwing back to my left, opening up. This time I'm going to internally rotate my back foot. So say this is the center, my target is doing a hitch or slant or out, something outside the hash to the left to where I need to reposition my feet without having to take a hitch. Big step here, everything is staying in the middle. On my next step, I'm going to start turning this foot here so that when it's time to turn that last step, and I'm going toe to toe, right? Toe to toe, or internally rotating my back foot. When I lift, my hips are now in line to throw in this direction, right? Stance. If I'm throwing in this direction here, my target is off to my left. I'm under center, set, go. 1, normal step. Now, knowing that I'm gonna go to my left, my 2 and 3 have to be a little turn in that direction. Still staying in line, but just turning in there. So now I'm going slight turn here, externally rotate my left leg, and then internally rotate my right so that the inside is facing my target. Now when I lift, step, and throw, hips can get square to my target without me having to maneuver or reset my feet or hitch up. Oftentimes I'll see 1, 2, 3, no rotation on the feet, everything's square, like they're throwing the ball right back up the middle, and then they have to reposition to get this back foot in a spot to where they can throw there, or here to here. Instead of doing that, if you're efficient with your feet and you can internally and externally rotate that back foot, you'll always be in a good spot to make that throw. Don't have to reset. We'll be able to sit on that back foot and wait until our target is open so that we can make that throw on time, good footwork, making sure our foot is right under our back hip and making an easy throw every time.